Glass was one of the few submarine captains in the history of the U.S. Navy who did not have a degree in science, but was extremely experienced in submarine navigation. Hours earlier, Glass had been called back to the military base when the U.S. submarine he was tracking disappeared into Russian waters. According to intelligence, the Russian president had gone to a military port not far from where the submarine had disappeared. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Glass orders the crew to assemble and head for the area. At the same time, Rear Admiral Fisk sends a special team to infiltrate Russia for military intelligence. Glass sent out a probe to scan the area and soon found the wreckage of the missing U.S. submarine and reported it to his superiors. Suddenly, Glass's men found an unusual noise. A submarine actually submerged under the ice, fired 2 torpedoes at them. They could not determine the location of the enemy, so they had to dodge. Luckily, Glass has a lot of experience in battle. Turning the weapon 180 degrees, the torpedoes hit the enemy submarine. But at the same time, the sonar detected survivors on the bottom of the sea, and they searched all the way there. Not far away, at a Russian naval base, President Zakarin and the defense minister received news that their submarine has been sunk by the Americans. Durov suggests that the president send a destroyer to defend Russian sovereignty. Instead, the president decided to talk to the U.S. president to determine his intentions. Meanwhile, a special forces team has infiltrated a Russian naval base to conduct covert surveillance, and is shocked to discover that Durov, the Russian defense minister, is attempting a coup d'état. Deep under the sea, Glass found the wreckage of another Russian submarine, and quickly rescued the submarine crew and submarine commander Andrus. The U.S. Major General applies for the rescue of Russian President Zakarin, and the plan is supported by the U.S. President. The Special Forces team and Glass are called to duty. Glass finds Captain Andrus and presents evidence that the Russians did not cause the accident, but rather the Russian defense minister's coup d'état to seize power. With the help of Andrus, Glass is able to pass through the underground tunnels of the Russian military harbor and reach the prison site. Meanwhile, with the help of a special team, the Russian president finally boards the Arkansas submarine. The Russian defense minister, in control of the military, sends a destroyer after the Arkansas submarine. One by one, the rockets dive from the air and explode around the Arkansas, causing severe damage to the hull of the ship. Glass decides to fight to the death, quickly loading and aiming, hesitating for an instant as their weapon systems are all but destroyed. The war was heating up rapidly as the destroyers pursued the Arkansas submarine. In the nick of time, Andrus called to his men on the destroyer and told them the truth. Just as the captain raised his guns to attack, the Russian president also issued an order, and the captain had no choice but to follow it. Reluctantly, the Russian defense minister fired dozens of sea missiles at the Arkansas submarine, which had been unable to fight back since it had come ashore, and the overwhelming firepower instantly destroyed all the. Suddenly, the Russian destroyer turned around and fired 2 ground missiles, which cut through the sky and directly hit the military base where the Russian defense minister was located. The crisis is over.